Hello once again, everybody. We're visiting with Tim Sigrist, the owner of Bull Country Compost. Now, that might be a name that might confuse some viewers. First of all, Tim, let's talk a little bit about the family farm, the operation, and maybe give us a little bit of history of the operation.
Family farm-wise, it's a third-generation farm. I will be the third generation on it. Started out as a general stock farm. When Grandpa had it, he had, back then everybody had every type of animal there. Did a lot of breeding services though also. Then when my father took over the farm, he turned it into strictly dairy. So we've been dairy for 45 years now. And as a result of that, dairy cows produce, with a high concentration of dairy cows, they produce a little more manure than just your regular stock farm. So we were getting an abundance of manure. In actuality, fertility on the fields was going down because our nutrient value was going up too much. So it's a combination of a way to get rid of manure. I had gone to college, came back home. So since I was there, needed to create a little more way to make money. And Dad was pretty much thoroughly against milking more cows. So
Now, do you still have the dairy operation?
Actually, as of 3 years ago, we sold all the milking cows, but we still do raise replacement dairy heifers now. Half of them our own, half of them we custom raise for somebody else. So.
Now, starting a composting business is probably not like starting most other businesses on the farm. I would imagine there's a lot of regulations that you have to comply with.
Starting a compost business, it was a little unnerving at times. Something new, whole brand new concept. Nobody in the area was doing it. Not a whole lot was known about it. But yeah, we went through EPA. So we're a Class 3 EPA approved facility. They're there once a month for an inspection for rainwater handling, material placements, make sure stuff is where it's at. So yeah, the compliance was, at first we thought it was going to be a little overbearing, but once you get into it, it's just common practices, common sense, and handle it that way.
Now, as you've grown the business, do you operate to the point where you get manure from other farms and broker that to additional acreage to other farmers?
Yeah, we have grown to the point where we take in extra manure. We compost everything. Pretty much everything we compost, though, is sold through bulk sales or bag sales, wholesale wise.
Now, to get to that point, there's an awful lot that you do with, and when I say handling, it's done with machines, and you screen the last product, and it's not simply taking the manure, waving a wand over it, and you have a finished product. There's an awful lot in between.
Yeah, there is, and most people don't realize that. We've got it down now. I mean, we try to be efficient as possible, but if we haul the manure in, and if we have to load it onto our trucks to haul it in, most of the product gets handled 7 times before it leaves the facility. So it gets handled 7 times in the course of about a year. And as of last count, last year we handled about 4,000 yard of material. So 4,000 yard got handled 7 times before it went down the road.
Wow, that's saying something. Now, I suppose too that you have, based on the EPA and how they look at a lot of things on the farm, do they visit your farm and have to approve things from time to time?
Yeah, they do. Anytime we want to make changes or additions to the facility, we have to file proper paperwork through EPA to have those plans approved and submitted, stuff like that.
What's the biggest advantage that you would say in a composting business for your total farming operation?
Basically, it's the biggest advantage of composting. It's basically the stabilization of the manure. You're taking a volatile product and you're stabilizing it into a very plant-friendly, usable product and homeowner-friendly product that people would like to use.
And then what would be your biggest challenges? How do we have enough time for this? I'm sure there's numerous challenges that you have.
Numerous challenges, but I would probably have to say the biggest challenge is public perception. When anymore, I really hate to say that I compost manure, because as soon as you say that word manure, everybody thinks it's manure.
You know, I have seen folks come out from the city in farms and getting compost in their area, and there's no residual smell, no odor, nothing like that, and they're happy campers, so to speak, when they go home and plant seeds or other seedlings into that compost.
That's true. Yeah, there's a lot of people that come out, and even though, you know, there's tons of manure sitting on my facility, when people do pick up compost, that's one thing they notice. They're like, there's hardly any smell here. And that's when I tell them, I say, well, if the compost is composted correctly and right, there shouldn't be a whole lot of odor associated with it.
Tim, you're located near Dundee, Ohio. What is your geographic area that you take your compost to? I'm sure that you run a lot of trucks, keep a lot of trucks running all the time, but what is the geographic area that you service?
Geographic area is usually, you know, we try to get into the bigger cities and towns, more population of people, where there's more marketing and, you know, more demand for a product like that. Our facility is located out in the country. It's nice because of the remoteness of it. You know, we keeps public perception from being right on top of us, but yet we're close enough to the metropolitan areas that it's easy to get to our market area.
But I'm sure you're always looking for more business.
Oh, we always are. We're always expanding.
Okay, let's ask a little bit about some of the places you go. Today you're at the North American Manure Expo, and when you come here, you're giving a demonstration, or not a demonstration, a presentation to folks that were listening to you. So you're sharing your message. Do you have an opportunity as well to learn when you come to things like this?
Oh yeah, I always go with an attitude to try to pick up something new, see something new technology to learn about, possibly to adapt to my system. In all actuality, the spreader calibration this morning, that demonstration is actually one of the things that I was here for, with our new acquisition of a spreader truck. That way we're able to apply and put down the compost or other materials like we should be and need to be.
Now, after your presentation today, I saw a flock of people surrounding you, asking you a lot of questions. What were some of those questions that were asked?
Oh, basically just kind of wanting to know, you know, what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Other people were there for, you know, new technologies that maybe I could adapt into my system. There are a couple viable ones that sound kind of interesting, but, you know, we'll see what happens. That's all I can say with that, because, you know, every situation is different. Every product is handled differently. And so it just depends if you can adapt to the technologies to do what you want to do.
You know, Tim, I bet we piqued the interest of some folks that might want to contact you, ask a few questions, and also to say, how do I go about taking advantage of what you do? How's the best way for them to go about getting in touch?
Best way to getting in touch is probably through our website, bullcountrycompost.com, and then also through the email, which is bullcountrycompost@gmail.com.
Very good. Tim Sigrist has been our guest. Tim, thanks for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
And stay with us, everybody. Back with more right after this.